Give me an L.
L.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me a V.
V.
Give me an E.
E.
Welcome to Live
Interactive
English. Woo!
Yay!
All right, so today we are looking at the story of Sisyphus. This is part 1.
That's right, and I am Karen, everyone. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I am Shane. And when we think of Sisyphus, this ruler, his personality traits, what comes to mind?
Well, I would say somebody who's very tricky.
Yes, he was deceitful.
And maybe just plain bad.
He was not a good fella, not a good fella. But when you think of me, like you know, my character traits, how would you describe me?
Well, I would say that you have a good sense of humor.
Good sense of humor. I like that. Okay.
And you are very kind and generous.
Kind and generous. I've
And-
never given you anything, but okay.
That's true. And you are just a little bit lazy.
A little bit lazy. Yeah, I like to sleep. That's true. I just took a big nap.
Okay, how about me? How would you describe my character traits?
Bubbly.
Of course.
Bubbly, friendly. Very outgoing.
That's right. And would you also say intelligent?
I would not. Yes, of course, intelligent. That goes without saying. Yeah, of course. So today, when we get into this story, we're going to learn a little about Sisyphus, learn about his character traits, learn all about this ruler and what happens to him. So let's get into it.
All right.
Born the Prince of Thessaly, Sisyphus grew up to be the founder and king of Ephyra. He and his wife Merope grew Ephyra into a thriving city. However, far from being a great and fair leader, Sisyphus was tricky, deceitful, and sometimes just plain bad. More than once, he invited guests into the safety of his palace, only to kill them. Why? Simply to show off his power. This angered Zeus, king of the gods. To make matters worse, when Zeus later kidnapped a woman, Sisyphus revealed where the god had taken her.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So here we go with part 1 of the story of Sisyphus. And why don't you begin reading?
All right, I will. Born the Prince of Thessaly, Sisyphus grew up to be the founder and king of Ephyra. He and his wife Merope grew Ephyra into a thriving city. So right off the bat, we're looking at this word here, founder, and that is a noun. A founder is a person who establishes something new, like a company, institution, or nation, like a country.
Yeah.
For example, you can say George Washington was one of the founders of the United States.
Okay, so they grew Ephyra into a thriving city. So when you think of something that's thriving, it's doing really well.
That's right.
It's like when plants thrive, they grow really well, they're very green. So you can kind of imagine that's what's going on in the city, okay? However, far from being a great and fair leader, Sisyphus was tricky, deceitful, and sometimes just plain bad.
So these are just bad character traits, right?
They certainly are. Now let's look at the first one, deceitful. That's an adjective meaning full of deceit. So to deceive somebody would be a verb, right? So the verb means to cause to believe something that is not true, to trick, or to fool. So if you're deceitful, then you are causing people to believe something that is not true.
Basically, it means that you're not very honest, right?
Exactly. All right, so for example, I wouldn't trust Frank because he is quite deceitful.
Okay, well, let's go back to the story. More than once, he invited guests into the safety of his palace, only to kill them.
What?
Okay, so he's deceitful and he is very mean,
And
right?
he's like power hungry.
That's right.
And just plain cruel. My goodness.
But why would he want to kill the guests?
Well, continue reading. Why? Simply to show off his power. This angered Zeus, king of the gods.
Oh, okay, because of his cruel behavior.
Yeah, he's just killing all these guests like that just to show off his power. That's not very nice.
So making Zeus, which is the king of gods, really, really angry.
You don't
right?
want to do that.
Exactly. Okay, so to make matters worse, when Zeus later kidnapped a woman, Sisyphus revealed where the god had taken her.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. That's not good news.
There was a lot of stuff going on in like these Greek stories, you know, like
Greek mythology.
Greek mythology. Like, so Zeus kidnaps a girl, so he's not all that great either, right? You know, but Sisyphus told on him. He revealed where the god taken her, right? What does it mean to kidnap somebody?
Well, to kidnap, that is a verb. So it means to take a person away illegally and against their will, usually for ransom. So usually you want to ask for some money in return. So I will not give your child back to you if you don't give me $2 million.
Yeah, we have this word, it says kidnapped, right? But it doesn't only have to be, don't think it has to be a kid.
That's right.
Adults can be kidnapped too. It just means to be taken against your will, right? And I guess so Zeus kidnapped this and then Sisyphus is like, actually, I know exactly where she's at. I don't know who he told, but he told on him.
That's right.
And it seems like he does not have a lot of respect for Zeus.
And Zeus is already angry because of all of his bad behavior, and this made matters even worse.
Well, let's find out what Zeus is going to do to Sisyphus to show him who's really the boss.
All right.
Let's take a break first.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要读的是 The Story of Sisyphus， 薛西弗斯的故事。那么薛西弗斯出生的时候，他是色萨利的王子，长大后他就成为艾菲拉的创建者和国王。那他和妻子把艾菲拉发展成一个繁荣的城市。不过薛西弗斯并不是一个伟大又公正的领导人，他诡计多端、不诚实，有时候还很恶劣。那么 Karen 老师提到这些都是不好的性格特征。那么 trait 这个字可以学一下。T-R-A-I-T trait 表示特点、特征。那么单字 founder 它表示建立者或是创办人。而薛西弗斯他有多恶劣呢？他不止一次把宾客邀请到宫殿里，却把他们杀害，那就只是为了要炫耀自己的权力。而这就激怒了众神之王宙斯。更糟的是后来宙斯他绑架一名女子，那么薛西弗斯泄露了他们的踪迹，让宙斯的秘密败露。好，那么 Shane 老师这时候用到一个用语是 tell on somebody， 就可以表达告发某人的意思。那补充单字 kidnap 它是动词，表示绑架、劫持。那这时候 Karen 老师有提到 ransom 这个字 R-A-N-S-O-M ransom 就表示赎金。好，那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是 to make matters worse， 表示更糟的事，用来表达某事使得原本已经很糟的情况恶化。那么其中 matters 它是指问题或是情况，在这边固定用复数形。举例来说 Jim's car was towed away. To make matters worse,He had left his wallet at home. Jim 的车被拖掉，更糟的是，他把钱包留在家里，没带出门。那第二个重点是，过去完成式 had 加上 PP， 用来表示在过去某个时间点或某动作之前就已经完成的经验或动作，常常搭配过去简单式使用，用来指过去两个动作的先后顺序。先发生的动作就用过去完成式，后发生的动作用过去简单式。例如 Anne had already heard the news before we told her. 在我们告诉 Anne 之前，她已经听到那个消息了。所以 Anne 先得知消息，我们用过去完成式 had heard。我们告诉她是后发生的事，用过去简单式 told。那我们接着回到课文中。
Zeus decided that Sisyphus's behavior must be punished, so he ordered Thanatos, or Death, to take the king to the underworld. Zeus wanted Sisyphus locked up for what he had done, but Sisyphus had no intention of staying dead. Instead, he tricked Thanatos into chaining himself up so that he, Sisyphus, could return to the land of the living. Sisyphus wasn't the only one to escape death, though. With Thanatos trapped, no one, not a single soul, could die. The sick suffered endlessly, wounded soldiers lived on, and the gods no longer received the sacrifices they'd grown used to. It was a terrible situation.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So before the break, we were looking at our story, and we're talking about this character who is deceitful, tricky, and just plain bad.
Sisyphus.
Exactly, Sisyphus. So Sisyphus is the founder and the king of Ephyra. And he and his wife, Merope, grew Ephyra into a thriving city.
That's right.
But because of all his cruel behavior and all the bad things that he's been doing, maybe killing his guests in his own home, these behavior, they actually angered Zeus.
Yeah, he even told on Zeus, right? Remember?
That's right.
Like Zeus kidnapped a woman and then basically he told, hey, actually this is where Zeus hid her. Ha ha ha.
Exactly. So that made Zeus even more angry. But we don't know what Zeus is going to do to him right now, right?
We're going to find out right now. Okay, so Zeus decided that Sisyphus's behavior must be punished. So he ordered Thanatos, or Death, to take the king to the underworld.
Okay, so Thanatos is actually like death, right? The god of death.
He's the god of death. Right? So he basically ordered him to take him to the underworld. That's like hell.
That's right.
Basically, right? All right, so what is behavior? Behavior is the way a person acts or behaves. So for example, you could say Jen was upset by Jerome's behavior at the party.
Like how he was acting and how he was behaving,
yes,
right?
That's right.
Okay, now let's go back to the story. Zeus wanted Sisyphus locked up for what he'd done. But Sisyphus had no intention of staying dead. Because I guess Sisyphus is very, very smart, right? And then he's probably thinking, nobody can control me.
Since he's tricky and deceitful, he's probably also a little bit slick and clever.
Yeah, that's right. So it says that Sisyphus had no intention of staying dead. So what does it mean by intention? So intention is a noun. It just means something that you want and plan to do. So for example, you can say Cassie took the man's number, but she had no intention of calling him. That means she does not have a plan of calling him.
Oh, poor guy. I feel so sad.
That's right.
Okay, so continuing. Instead, he tricked Thanatos into chaining himself up so that he, Sisyphus, could return to the land of the living. So he basically tricked this god to tie himself up. And then Sisyphus just went out of the underworld, right back up to life, and he could go back to the land of the living.
So I guess you are right. He is very clever and he is very smart because he even tricked the god of death.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, well, let's continue. Sisyphus wasn't the only one to escape death, though. With Thanatos trapped, no one, not a single soul, could die. That could be a problem, right? Because now we know that Thanatos is trapped. He's all chained up, right? Like all tied up. So nobody can die because he is in charge of everyone's death.
Well, that's good luck for the people
Is it really?
Who were living around that time, you know?
Well, what if somebody...
Like one day you were going to maybe just get in an accident and die? Well, you wouldn't die because Thanatos couldn't take you down to the underworld. So you would be pretty lucky.
Well, I don't know, but maybe some people will also suffer, right?
Okay, well, let's look. The sick suffered endlessly. Oh, okay. Wounded soldiers lived on. And the gods no longer received the sacrifices they'd grown used to. It was a terrible situation because, yeah, death is a part of life. And at some point, people do need to die.
Exactly.
Right? We have another vocabulary word here, sacrifice. Now, they said they've grown used to sacrifices. So a sacrifice is a gift of something to a god as an act of worship. So, for example, the sheep was offered as a sacrifice to the gods.
So people could no longer do that because the god of death was all chained up and he was trapped.
That's exactly right.
So it was a terrible situation. So I guess nobody's really lucky here, right?
Yeah. Well, everyone's in a bad situation. All right, so that's where we have to end off now. But there is a part 2.
Oh, right.
So we can find out how all of this is going to work out. Is he just going to stay in the land of the living? Is he going to trick Zeus? Is he going to trick somebody else? What's going to happen? We'll find out next time. And we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
宙斯决定薛西弗斯的行为必须受到惩罚，他命令死神把薛西弗斯带到冥界，想要把他关起来。但是薛西弗斯并不打算坐以待毙，相反的，他骗了死神，让死神把自己用锁链捆绑起来。那么这样，薛西弗斯他就可以重返人间。不过他并不是唯一逃过死劫的人，由于死神受困，没有人能够死去，那就造成了生病的人无止境受苦。那么受伤的士兵苟延残喘，众神也没办法再收到他们习以为常的祭品了。好，单字 behavior 表示行为，那 intention 它表示意图、目的或是打算。Have no intention of 加上动词 ing 就表示不打算怎么样，或者是无意怎么样。那么 sacrifice 在这边当名词，它表示祭品、献祭或是牺牲。Shane 老师在解释这个单字时用到 worship 这个动词 worship worship 它有敬奉或是崇拜的意思。那这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是 instead 跟 instead of 的比较。Instead 它是指作为替代、反而或是相反地，它是个副词，可以把它摆在句首、句中或是句尾。举例来说， I had too much coffee this morning, so I ordered tea instead. 我今天早上喝太多咖啡，所以我点了茶作为代替。那么 instead of 则表示代替什么，而不是什么，它是片语介系词，后面是要接被取代的名词或动名词。例如 I ordered tea instead of coffee. 我点了茶而不是咖啡。那第二个重点是 the 加上形容词的不同意思与用法。首先第一个，它可以用来统称具有某种特质或特性的群体，通常视为复数。像 the living 指的是生者、活人， the sick 表示病患或生病的人。例如 She devoted herself to helping the poor. 她致力于帮助贫困的人。那第二个，我们可以用 the 加形容词用来表达抽象概念，通常视为单数，像 the unknown 未知事物、未知的领域， the impossible 是指不可能的事。举例来说 ，the impossible is only possible if you try. 只有尝试才会让不可能的事变得有可能。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Born the Prince of Thessaly, Sisyphus grew up to be the founder and king of Ephyra. He and his wife Merope grew Ephyra into a thriving city. However, far from being a great and fair leader, Sisyphus was tricky, deceitful, and sometimes just plain bad. More than once, he invited guests into the safety of his palace, only to kill them. Why? Simply to show off his power. This angered Zeus, king of the gods. To make matters worse, when Zeus later kidnapped a woman, Sisyphus revealed where the god had taken her. Zeus decided that Sisyphus's behavior must be punished, so he ordered Thanatos, or Death, to take the king to the underworld. Zeus wanted Sisyphus locked up for what he had done, but Sisyphus had no intention of staying dead. Instead, he tricked Thanatos into chaining himself up so that he, Sisyphus, could return to the land of the living. Sisyphus wasn't the only one to escape death, though. With Thanatos trapped, no one, not a single soul, could die. The sick suffered endlessly, wounded soldiers lived on, and the gods no longer received the sacrifices they'd grown used to. It was a terrible situation.
I'm so irked right now.
Why are you so frustrated, Winnie?
I can't get the concert tickets. It says it's sold out.
It's okay. I got them already.
You did?
It's time for some translations. The first topic is showing frustration. Okay, can you translate for me? 好烦哦. How would you say this in English?
So 烦. So tired.
Oh, okay.
I'm unhappy.
Okay, yeah, I'm unhappy. Okay, then we also have 我心情不好.
I'm blue. I'm feeling not well.
I'm not feeling well. Okay, very good. What did we learn today? The topic for today's translation is showing frustration. The first phrase is, it's annoying. The word annoying is used to describe someone being tiresome or bothersome. If you want to tell someone they're bothering you, you can say, you are annoying. The second phrase is, I'm not in a good mood. The word mood is referring to emotion. So if you want to describe feeling unhappy, you can say in a bad mood if you don't feel happy. The sentence, I'm not in a good mood, can be used to let someone know that you're not happy and you don't want to continue talking to them. And that's all for translations today. KiWi later!